please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hi, welcome back. You're watching MIDCAP Radar. Well, for the market, we're just about holding the 10,000 mark for now. So it's about 1% in terms of cut. The Sensex is down about 350 odd points right now. Likewise for the mid-cap index, the Nifty Bank, that's where the big pain has been seen today. So about 430 points down on that one. In terms of stocks, let's just take a quick check on some of the stocks which are getting hit. So some of these likely candidates, Relcom, PCJ, but even something like a Marico is now down about 1%. There's news flow coming through that Fortis healthcare deal likely has a new structure in place. Sources tell CNBC TV18 that the TPG-backed Manipal is looking to buy assets from Fortis to avert risks due to a legal tangle and alleged fund diversion. So Nisha is here to fill us in. Nisha, go ahead.
Thanks for that, Sumaira. Of course, sources with direct knowledge share with us that there is a change in the structure that is being talked about between TPG-backed Manipal as well as Fortis Healthcare lenders and shareholders when it comes to this transaction. So to avoid any future liability on account of the fund diversion, alleged fund diversion case which is going on, which is under SFIO investigation as well, along with Daiichi's legal tangle going on with Singh brothers. So to avoid all of that, they've come up with a structure which could be just an asset buyout from Fortis Healthcare. And in this, remember that the lenders as well as the private equity players would play an important role and not Fortis Healthcare as a company and not the Singh brothers as promoters at all. So what I do gather is that that TPG Manipal are more interested in the hospital assets of Fortis Healthcare, which are mostly housed in RHT, which is the business trust listed in Singapore. And some time back, Fortis Healthcare had issued a notice and a stock exchange notification. They said that they are going to buy it out and delist the company. So that process has already begun. Remember, out of the 20 or 30 hospitals that Fortis Healthcare has pan-India, 12 hospitals are housed under RHT, and all those are of huge interest to TPG Manipal. Apart from that, remember the diagnostics chain is another valuable asset for Fortis Healthcare, and that's something that TPG as well as Manipal are extremely interested in. We do gather that they are in talks with the private equity as well as other stakeholders outside of Fortis Healthcare who own 44% of SRL. A large chunk of that is also in the process of being sold to TPG Manipal if this whole structure and this transaction were to happen. What TPG Manipal is also looking at is buying out these assets, have a pan-India hospital chain and diagnostic business, and then list it on the exchanges as well. So this is the broader structure that I am gathering at this point, and they're trying to avert all the liabilities and legal hurdles that may come and still get the asset that they had been working on for more than a year.
So it's basically similar to a slump sale. Now, simple question, what does it mean for shareholders? I mean, if you buy Fortis today, what does it mean for you? You know, in a slump sale, typically the company gets the money and then shareholders expect the company to issue a special dividend or distribute it amongst shareholders. I mean, that is not the case here. But we are talking about asset sales. So what does it mean for shareholders if this were to go through?
Legally, there are too many complications, and I'm sure the legal heads of Fortis Healthcare, TPG Manipal have really worked out the structure so that nothing can be questioned in the court of law by Daiichi. So that's very important. And with the fund diversion case as well, Fortis Healthcare also has the moving ability is also a big question mark. So it will be the lenders and the private equity shareholders of SRL who will take the call in this particular bit. And they have invoked the pledged shares and they can stake their right of recovering the fund also.
I think that is the reason why you look at the stock, you look at put the intraday up, it's the stock is sinking. It's going down fast. It's down almost 5% now. And that is essentially the point that we were discussing, which is if the asset is between the lenders and the new buyer, what happens to the company? And I mean, if you're buying the company, the asset is out. So what are you left with? The legal troubles and the debt. So I think that is something which we'll need to, and we'll sort of get you more details as we go along. But prima facie, I think the market reaction is reflecting what we were just discussing. So, I mean, 5 1/3% lower on Fortis. We'll take a very quick break here. We come back and we will speak with the management at MEP Infrastructure. and that conversation will come right back. The market, by the way, we should leave you with the Nifty, is selling off again. We were up to about we were up about 120, 125 points. We are up 110 now. So there is a little bit of give back.
News on MEP Infra is that they've emerged as the lowest bidder for 3 NHAI projects. Jayant Maiskar, the chairman and MD of MEP Infra, now joins in. Mr. Maiskar, good afternoon. Thanks much for joining in. To begin with, could you give us more details on what these orders mean? What's the concession period and so on?
Good afternoon. MEP, in joint venture with Longji Road and Bridge Company, has emerged as the preferred bidder for 3 hybrid annuity projects in the state of Maharashtra, totaling to 2,921 odd crores to be executed over a period of 2 years from the appointed date.
Okay. And what is the annuity arrangement?
The total 3 projects would have to be completed over a period of 2 years. That would be the construction period, post which the annuity will be done over a period of 15 years. So 2 years of construction followed by 15 years of annuity.
Okay. And could you give us a sense of what else is there in the pipeline? What are you bidding for? And as well, what you hope to end the year with?
I think the company has already submitted a few other bids which are likely to be opened, I believe, in the next week or 10 days. Going by the current run rate, what we already have back, the total is around 2,921, what we have emerged as the lowest bidder. And we expect maybe to add a couple of more bids in the next 8 to 10 days. That is the expectation.
All right, Mr. Maiskar, we'll leave it at that for now. Thanks very much for your time. Just keep your eye on the market because the Nifty had briefly moved below the 10,000 mark yet again. So just about holding that for now. A little bit deeper in terms of a gash on the Sensex as well. So about 375 points now lower. The Nifty Bank has also accelerated its fall. So 450 points gone on that one. And you should just pull up some of the stocks which are seeing, some metal stocks continue to bear the brunt. Hindalco now down about 5% odd. Add to it, some of the other names, and we'll see some bit more pressure over there. Vedanta down 4.5% as well. A lot of the banks, private banks, of course, and even a lot of the heavyweights. So even look at an ITC, although it's just down about 0.25% right now. The SBI is down over 3%. So all in all, I think the last 1.5 hours of trade is definitely going to bear some watching. We're going to wrap up Midcap Radar. Closing bell will start early. It's going to begin at 2. And as we leave you, here's some market opinion from Sanjeev Prasad of Kotak Institutional Equities.
You have to look at market always on the basis of stocks. There's nothing like a market. There are several underlying components. So the challenge here, which has been always the case for the last at least 12-24 months, is that the good quality names, they continue to be expensive. They haven't really fallen. Whether they are the consumer staple or the discretionary names or the private retail banks. So they are still on the higher side. What's become cheap are the cheap stocks anyway. Stocks which had a lot of value to start with. Things like some of the the so-called the private corporate banks, some of the metal names, etc. But they're getting cheaper by the day, and there is obviously no interest in buying these names till the time you see some bottom of the market or some sort of sentiment coming back.